What's going on, people? Today we're going to talk about Hustlers Undergrad and what it will do for you. Essentially, create your own bag. We have 14 spots left before we fill up at 100. So 14 spots left at $150. The link is below if you want to get in. It will still be available after we reach the 100 spots, but the price is probably going to go up to $299. I was thinking $250, but it's probably going to go up to $299. Oh, let's talk about a few things. Let's have a little chit chat. Create your own bag. I thought about this, how I was going to do this presentation. And if you have any questions about Hustlers Undergrad, this is the time to ask. I have people who will pop in the stream and say, hey, all right, what's your email? How can I contact you? This is the free information. This is how you can contact me. One of the things I have stopped doing, and I will communicate with my students, but I have stopped doing random requests like, let me holler at you. Hey, what's up, man? Let's chit. I simply don't have time for that stuff. Oh, if you want to holler at me, this is the time. This is the place to do it in these streams. Because if you're not a paying customer, I'm not going to talk to you because it's taking my bandwidth to talk to my paying customers. Think about it. Just think about it. All right. Create your own bag. One of the problems that I see is we have many people who want to do something and they don't really know how to do something. They're smart, they're courageous, they're brave. They just want to set some stuff up, but they really don't know how to do it. This is one of the things that we're going to do with Hustlers Undergrad. We're going to teach you how to set some stuff up. Another big problem is what I call I'm going to run before I learn how to crawl. You have many, many people out here who are perfectly capable of running a business in time. And this is a really, really big issue that we say because people like, I don't want to hear about 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 fucking years from now. I don't want to hear that crap, Glendon. What do you got? And it better be cheap that can get me on right now. And I look at these attitudes, and it's very interesting how this is akin to Bitcoin. Everyone wants to create their own cryptocurrency and get the benefits, the prestige of Bitcoin. Just, hey, I can create a cryptocurrency as good as Bitcoin. You should buy it. They ain't really working out. The crypto market is crashing right now because we have a lot of worthless trash in the crypto sphere. There's so many things out there that there's just no value. But once again, people kind of think that they can, and they feel that they can. And feelings often trump facts for a person making that decision. But feelings are never going to alter the facts of life. Remember that show, The Facts of Life? It's never going to alter them. At some point, your feelings in reality are going to crash. Now, why am I going through this? Why am I belaboring the point? You need to learn how to hustle before you start your business. I was kind of walking back through what I did, how it's got set up. And I was trying to start businesses on the board. I just didn't have the skill sets. I had the desire, I had the hunger, I had the ambition. I just didn't have the skill sets. Then that one day that I took responsibility, looking in the bathroom mirror, saying, you got to stop fucking up. About 6 weeks later, I was out of that situation. Many of you are perfectly capable of running a business. Just not right now, not next year, possibly the year after, and definitely the year after that. Because I think we are conflating starting a hustle, making money from that hustle, and then growing a business. There's two different schools of thought. There's two different trains of activity. So we're going to talk about that. Now, once again, there's 14 spots. So 2 people signed up while I was setting this up. So let's get into this. All right. So we're going to break it down. And I'm going to talk about why I call this creating your own bag in a minute. So your first step is, and this is, let's go ahead and go. Yeah, I'm going to make this small. Y'all should still be able to see it. Hustler. That's not a hustler. Hustler Undergrad. Someone asked, do you get to keep the courses? Yes. The courses are yours forever. Let's talk about how this is going to work, because someone's going to ask. Let's say you sign up on the payment plan, and like 3-4 months down the road, you're like, I don't want to do this no more. I will pick, because there's 22 courses, right? So I'll pick 3 or 4 courses, whatever you like. If you did 4 months, I'll pick 5-6 courses and I give them to you. And no, it will not be the current stuff. You can ask, but no, it will be the good courses. So that's how it's going to work. But you will always have access to the courses. The way that the platform is set up, that even if I stop paying for it, the domain will go to a Thinkific domain, and you'll still have access to your courses. So this doesn't go away. All right. So the first step is we got to get on this mindset. We have got to get on this mindset. There are people who feel that they just can't do certain things. So we've got becoming the boss, and the hustler's mindset, and Hustler MM Volume 3. Now, for less than the cost of a semester, you can have access to Hustler Undergrad and within a few weeks be making money. That's incredible to me. I didn't have nothing like this when I was coming up. So 2, we're going to work on sales, which are the benchmark of everything. You can do direct sales and not be marketing a lot. And that just looks kind of crazy. Let me clean that up. All right, because there's another volume in there. Hustler Mindset, Volume 3. Now, why we're going to spend all this time on mindset? I am essentially the same person that I was in 1997, 97, 98, 99. I'm essentially that same person. What has fundamentally been the biggest change in me has been my mindset. I look the same, I walk the same, I just don't think the same. But that thinking part is literally a 5% differential. So now I know this doesn't sound like a lot. If you can alter the way that you think, well, before I get into that, everything that you have, everyone that's in your life, everything that you have, where you work, all that comes from your current mindset. So you change your mindset, you begin to change all this other stuff. People try to do and facilitate external change first, and it doesn't work out. I posted today that this banker in San Francisco, 30 years in the banking industry, he's homeless now. Homeless. And a lot of people are like, hey, Glendon, you're doing well. Why do you work so hard? Because I don't want to be homeless again. I don't want to be homeless, but there's some stuff I'll get into a little later that we're going to talk about building. So number one, we're going to do mindset. Number two, we're going to do sales. Number three, we're going to do branding. You got to be a brand. You got to get into personal brand thing. You got to be a brand. What's the difference between your cookies and Patty P's cookies? It's Patty P. She has a name. She has a brand. She has a formula. She has a process. So you can't advertise unless you're a brand. Well, let me be clear. You can't advertise effectively unless you have a brand. That's why it's so important, because let's say you have an underground furniture store. You don't give it a name because you're trying to keep it on the low. You're trying to keep the man out your business, right? Well, you're killing yourself because you're just in the phase of someone who's just selling something. You're just someone. You're not a brand. Remember, what was my brand when I was on Craigslist? Hard. The upscale garage sale. That was the brand. The upscale garage sale. We were in the garage. Granted, it was a big ass warehouse. So we had a brand. We had a name. We had a theme. It's easier to advertise a brand than just to advertise. And a lot of people just advertise. So mindset, sales, branding, and branding leads to marketing. This is one of the big issues I have with a lot of y'all. What are you selling? I don't know, man. Glenn, I just want to make some money, man. Tell me what I should do. And see, this is something else too. When we get to the real, the things that you need to do to make money, people tune out. People are predicated for hustler porn. I had 50 people. It dropped down to 47 when I started talking about the real things that you need to do. And this is why I'm charging for this, because the last time I went through this, 95% of the people didn't crack open the course. 5% did. Some of those 5% who got the free courses, they signed up for this. They took action. I was looking through the names and I was like adding people, and I had folks who signed up in 2015. They actually got in on this program, but they paid for the information the first time, and they're just signing up for the webinars because they already got the courses. That should be very telling to everyone that's like, hey, where are your testimonials? Those are the testimonials. I was sitting there adding people to the queue. I was like smiling like a motherfucker. I was like, man, damn, I feel good. But people want shiny objects. They don't want the reality of making money's hard. Let me say that again. Making money is hard. Making money is hard. It ain't going to be easy. You're not going to hack it. But, and this right here, this comes with the mindset. If you go into this knowing that it's hard, when hard shit or bad shit happens, you ain't freaked out the frame. Like real estate agents that got into the real estate game during the Great Recession. They got in when it was shitty. So their mindset was properly adjusted. My realtor, she got in during the recession, and it made her run her business in a certain manner that she's got a year of living expenses in the bank. Not her husband's money, but she's got enough money to pay all of the bills and everything in the bank for a year, because she knows what it's like to go 6 or 7 months and 8 months without selling the house. So this gives her confidence. Like I said, she was a hustler. She worked really, really hard on my deals. And that's why she's my real estate agent. So that mindset is critical, because if you go into this with, it should be easy. Well, my cousin Carl, he popped up a website. He's making $1 million a year. You don't know Carl selling cocaine. You don't know Carl selling legal Viagra. You just know that Carl put up a website. You don't know that Carl has connects all over the place, because they're only telling you part of the story. They're not giving you the meat. Right now, I'm going to give you the meat. We're going to have some meat on this bone. So mindset, then sales. Then why should we do sales before we do branding? This leads to testing. Because see, when you start your business, you're going to be testing for at least a year. You're going to be testing the name. You're going to be testing the pitch. You're going to be testing the products. You may find out 6 months down the road that what you want to do doesn't work, but something that you found out that because you're in the business, now you have this new information. It's like, but this will work. So you could go ahead and do a pivot, but you're not going to find that out unless you're actually doing something. So this leads to testing. And then once you, as a friend of mine say, work out the uglies, then you get into the branding, because you should be able to get sales and test concepts before you get into the branding, because you can brand it wrong, and then that's going to mess up your marketing because it's branded wrong. Like, let's go with disruptive mail. I'm not going to have to mess with that brand. It's going to probably take me 2 to 3 years to get it where I want it to be. It actually was moving very fast. I started putting up videos. I started putting in music. I started putting in stuff, and I deviated from my original theme, and my subs actually went down. Views went up, but subscribers went down. It was very interesting. But I made sales. So now I've gone back to what I was doing in the beginning, because I'm testing. I'm putting something out, seeing how the audience responds. Once again, I'm following my own advice. Disruptive Mail, it's a brand. 2 to 3 years for me to get it where I want it to be. So when my views and stuff went down, I wasn't disappointed. I was like, okay, well, I did a test. That doesn't work. All right, so let's go back to what we were doing. And step by step, it's going to get to the point where the titles are going to be correct. The theme's going to be correct. I stopped saying, hey, this is Glendon, your hustling godfather. I stopped doing that stuff, and the things started to go in reverse. So it's like, okay, that was working. This is how you find out if stuff's working. Mindset, sales, branding, and marketing. Now, you have to have a concept, because branding and marketing are on the same level to me, because your marketing should be infused with your brand. Like, take Yeti. Yeti's got Yeti on everything. It's, if you didn't know, Yeti was started by 2 college kids because they wanted a better cooler for drink beer and get messed up on the weekends, because the coolers they were getting there, they were subpar. So they just created their own coolers. All right. And 4, we're going to get into legal structure. And I should say enhancement, because in the art of holding companies, I'm going to go ahead and just tell y'all this right now. You know how these web hosting companies give you this super low price, but they don't give you a lot of bandwidth, right? But you don't know that they don't give you a lot of bandwidth because you're not making enough impact online to stress their servers. Let me tell you what happened with me and Urban Pack Rat. That site crashed like several times. The first time, somebody had associated me with Storage Wars, and I got like literally 100,000 hits in like a week. A shit crashed. I was getting the website was literally taken down. And I was like, wait a minute. Because I was with Bluehost, and I was like, you said unlimited. And it's like, well, no, actually, if you read the fine print, that, you know, once you go over, because right now I'm looking at your traffic, you need to get a dedicated server. Now, typically now you can get up to like maybe 200,000 hits a month without getting a dedicated server. But back then, once you went past like maybe 70 to 100, depending on what plan you're on, they shut your shit down. Your shit would crash. Now, the parallel to many of these LLCs, they're shell corporations. They're not valid legal business entities. Now, there's this thing that happened to someone who knows me, but he did not believe that I knew my shit. And I told him, I said, that's a naked LLC and that's not going to protect you. Well, he got in some business and he got sued. And that judge took all of 2 minutes to say, well, there is no separation between you and your LLC. So now your assets are at risk. He got sued. The insurance paid like $300K. He had to sell his fucking house. He does not talk to me anymore because I met him. He knew that was right, but because his pride would not allow him to understand, because see, he's college educated. He has an MBA. He listened to all of those other guys, right? He ain't listened to his boy who was doing this shit every day. Yeah, I'm a little salty about it because I don't really give a fuck that he's not talking to me. Really don't. Because see, this is one of those other situations where he actually thought he was better than me. Kind of like the story Chris, for the storage auction days. I was telling you about how I showed up at Chris's house with a new car and all of a sudden the relationship got funky. Same thing. And also, he didn't know how much money I was making. But I told him. And see, when we get into the art of holding companies, and once again, if you don't want to sign up for Hustler Undergrad, you can go ahead and buy the Art of Holding Companies. It's $1,000. And I can tell you it's going to be probably 4 to 6 sessions. It's not going to be just one webinar. It's too much information. That's why it's so expensive. I'm not going to put out this for $150 because for everyone that has signed up for Hustlers Undergrad so far, I appreciate you. Thank you. You guys want to win. You understand that you got to pay for your education. You understand you got to pay your lessons. So congratulations. So this is one of the things that we're going to talk about because, and this is why a holding company is so important, because a lot of people are like, can I do this without a holding company? I've been talking about this for years. And I keep saying that there's a reason that you need a holding company. There's a reason. But, folks don't want to get to it. So we're going into the mindset, sales, branding, marketing, legal structure enhancement. And then we're going to enter into another phase of testing. Because once you got to make sure that all this stuff works together. Because let's say you mess up on your branding. Then this is going to mess up this, and potentially this could be a problem with your legal structure, which we'll get into in the art of holding companies. So this is where we're going to, the 5 things that we're going to work on, because this is going to get us solid hustles. Because the first mandate is everybody is going, our first goal is to get everybody to $1,000 a month. That's the first mission, to get everybody to a G a month, 4 figures a month, because that's 12 grand a year. Now let's go ahead and forget about, popping bottles, Cristal, Migos, all of these people who make extraordinary money. They're atypical. They're not normal. They're just not. So let me see. I think I can do this. All right, hold on. Oh, there we go. All right. First mandate. And we're going to work on this. And this is one of the reasons for the live webinars, because I know that some people are going to need help. Minimum 4 figures per month. And this is super important because we're going to do this. So at a minimum, that's 12K to about, because some of you can do 50K right off the box because you're already been hustling for a while. And this is in addition to your job. We're not going to be quitting jobs. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Now, once you get to here, this is where the real learning begins, because now you're getting tangible results. And until you get tangible results, everything I say is just bullshit. You're not, yeah, Glendon, you sound good, but I don't have no results. Once you start earning money consistently, this is going to change your life, and it's going to change how you look at everything. I have a friend, he put together a website, and when he got his first sale, which was only $19, he called me up. He said, man, this shit real. Most people don't believe this stuff is real until they realize some results. So we get here, and these are the things you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to sell, marketing, branding. Let's see, marketing. And good Lord, hold on a second. Let me get rid of that. That looks really, really bad. All right. I'll learn how to sell, marketing, branding. All right. So why are you keeping your job? And this is a big one. This is huge. Because, all right, so you got your job, right? And this is providing you bullets. Each dollar that you get from that job is a bullet that now you can put in your gun to start your thing. So this is why we're not quitting this. Also, your job gives you money to live on, so you're not taking money out the business. Because, see, once you get here to this 12 to 50K and you don't have to spend it, this is where shit gets good. Because you're going to learn selling, marketing, brand, and this is important, money management. This is hands down the reason so many people have problems. Like that banker I told you about, he did it the old-fashioned way, put money in the 401k. It ain't enough. This next recession is going to expose so many people because they don't have any money. That's why I'm saying create your own bag. Like my real estate deals, I can fund my own deals. I don't have to ask anybody for shit. I want you to think about that because, everyone's like, hey, I got another friend, and his name's John as well, who's in real estate. And he's like, don't use your own money. And I'm like, John, you play this game. You're a real estate broker. I'm not playing that game. I'm going to play a different game. So when you get your own bag, and let's talk about what's in the bag. You got this bag, right? You got 10K to 50K. In time, in years, you could turn that into 7 figures. Now, why can you turn that into 7 figures? And let's put it at 5 to 10 years. Goes back to this. I live on a budget. Now, one of the reasons you have to live on the budget as a business owner is your income is inconsistent month to month. It may be in a certain range, but every month is usually a little different. Sometimes it goes down, sometimes it goes up, but it's never the same. So what you need to do is to live on 10%. Crank up your income where you can live on 10% and then have this 90% over here in the gun. How many of y'all been around since the storage auction days? When I started this channel, well, I was in a house. I got rid of my house because my partner died. And then I moved into an apartment. I didn't really need it was just me. And I lowered my expenses. My car was paid off. I didn't have any credit card bills. That's allowed me to build all this because my personal life was not taking all my bullets and wasn't taking all my ammo. If you're a business owner and your business, say your business does $100K a month net, you getting $100K and you living on that $100K, you are a fucking fool because it's going to catch up with you one day. Because what's going to happen is luxuries once tasted become necessities. You're going to develop these very expensive appetites. Shit, Paul Manafort. $60 million, $70 million is what these, and he is broke. Because, he went out and spent $11,000 on an ostrich skin coat. He was lying to banks. So see, there's this thing called a thirst. And I'm in Atlanta, and I see it quite a bit. This is the thirst. Once you get that life, whatever that life may be, it may be a money life, it may be a fame life, it may be a money and fame life. Once you get that taste, everything else is bland after that. I don't know Candy from Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I always thought that she was extremely talented. I always thought that she was probably the best looking one in Escape. She didn't have to do that show, but she was no longer relevant in that world. So she did that show, even though she didn't have to do that show to become relevant because of that taste. This is one of the reasons that I live on a budget. Like right now, there's another camera I want to get. I can go get it, but I'm actually got another account where I'm putting money in it. And I'm making myself do it that way because that taste is hard to get out your mouth. Paul Manafort, $60 to $70 million, and he's broke. He's defrauding banks. He is lying on loan apps to get more money because of that thirst, that taste for that life. When you get to that life, and you got to come down like, you living in a $10 million house, and you got to come down to a $2 million house, you will think that you fucking fell off. To someone who is like living in a $130,000 house, they're like, what are you complaining about? You still living good. Don't see it that way. People who make a lot of money fast develop some pretty outrageous appetites. And when they develop these appetites, the spend rate goes through the roof. What's her name? God. What's that rapper's name that's done all that cosmetic surgery on her face? She used to be so cute. She was with Biggie. Little Kim. You remember that album where she was in the bikini and she was squatting down? Woo! Now she's a thing. Why is she a thing? Because of that thirst. That thirst will have you doing plastic surgery. That thirst will have you doing cocaine. That thirst, because once you get to, it's hard to let that go. It is so hard. And this is why, even if you got $2-3 million a year coming in, you need to live on a budget. You need to live on a budget. You need to moderate your expenses and moderate yourself, or you could lose yourself. I had money. First time I had money, I did crackhead shit, paying cash for cars. Fortunately, I paid cash for cars, and I had to sell that bad boy to get some money to pay some other bills. So, we're going to work on a lot of this stuff because I want you guys to be successful, and I don't want you to be successful for a hot minute. Because going through Hustler Undergrad, we get you this solid 4-figure hustle in addition to your job. Then you're set up to make more money. This is why you're creating your own bag. You got this job. Now you got this money is business money. This is very important. You got your job to take care of you, and now your business has bullets to make itself bigger. And once how many of you have looked in your checking account and seen 20 to 100K in your checking account? Because you don't have to have millions to have some fuck you money and attitude money. You got 20K to 100K in the bank. You got fuck you money. You got options. You have the ability to make some moves. But everybody's trying to get this business credit. And we'll talk about business credit. But I am not going to teach you guys how to get business credit and fail. I think that's disgusting. I think that's irresponsible. Go ahead and give you the tools where you can get yourself in trouble and don't give you the game where you can make the best use of it. I think that's just bad. And we're not doing that here. Manafort is in real trouble. And also, I want you to think of this. He had people stealing from him. And when you have money stashed overseas, there are no protections overseas like there is over here. That money may just disappear. His banker may be like, "Oh, Paul's in trouble. Let me get into his account. He can't get it. Ain't shit he can do to me." So you got that. But this is the first mandate. You got that 4 figures because this sets the tone. I want you to think about it. Your name Jody. I like to use Jody. Jody, you're making 50K. You start your side hustle, and then you're making just $1,000 a month. That's taking you to 62K, but it's taking you to 62K plus tax deductions. Because see, this is where the game gets really cute. That $12,000 side hustle can get you some of your federal money back if you know how to do it. So instead of making 12K, you might make 16 to 20K because of the business deductions your new business gives you. You see how the game works? And this is what I did. I went through this, and once again, I'll walk you through the whole story. Came out the boarding house, used some game to get a job, went through that job, went through another job, then I started my own business. I didn't just like leap into this. I had a parachute. And then this is going to be like your parachute to get your hustles and stuff going on. Also, what's going to happen is we want to build solid hustles. Like the upscale garage sale, it was a solid hustle. I mean, if it was a true business, when Francine and I got sick, it would have kept going. It wasn't built like that. But how many of you would like to have a $50,000 to $100K a year hustle, still keep your job? Because, you get 50K. I mean, the figures are really interesting because it's hard to look at because of the way they report it. But I heard someone say that only 6% of the people in North America make over 100K. Now he's Canadian, so he could be including all Canadians and all Mexicans and stuff, which would be fair because Mexico, United States, and Canada are North America. So think about that. When you factor in, because, we like to compare and contrast ourselves against just us. But if you bring the Canadians in, I think Canada has a population of 60. You know what? Let's find out. Population of Canada. I think it's 60 million. Oh my God. It ain't even 60 million. What? Okay. Hold on a second. Apparently. All right. There we go. This is the population of Canada. 36.2 million. I did not know that. All right. So population of Mexico. Oh, okay. All right. So I did not know that. The Canada thing's kind of blowing my mind. I thought there were more people in Canada. There are more people in California than there are in Canada. Wow. All right. So 150 plus the 330. It's almost 500 million people in North America. And only 6% of 500 million people make over six figures. That's mind blowing. Oh yeah, for you guys who want to disagree with my premise, someone put up a very good comment. He proved my point. I don't think he knew it. He went on to talk about slavery, right? And Jim Crow and free labor. We talk about legal immigration. We talk about illegal immigration. But we don't want to call it what it was. It was called forced immigration. All of those African people that were torn from their family were forced to immigrate. Then went on to talk about how most of Europe was devastated and how America, through the Marshall Act, helped rebuild Europe. Where did America get this money? America had to have the money before they did the Marshall Act, which means that they were richer than these older countries before the war due to immigration. I mean, get out your feelings. These are facts. The reason that the United States of America is the greatest country in the world, the richest country in the world, is through immigration. But see, we got people caught up in their feelings because black people were treated with all types of atrocities, and they just can't see past that. But it was forced immigration. They brought their people, they brought their talents, they brought their genius. It was forced immigration. That's what slavery was, forced immigration. So thank you for proving my point even more. Because everybody wants to get all cute and smart because, you know, we're on the internet. But the reality is, without this immigration, the forced immigration, the illegal immigration, and the illegal immigration, America would not be what it is today. All right. Tangent over. Let me see what's in these comments. All right. So let me go through this because we're going to get back to a lesson. What's up, Horror Breakdown? Jay Humps. Yes, you are. Al Gordon, what's up? Cashmatic. All right. Just for this, for anyone that signs up, the way it is set up, due to the fact that Stripe doesn't like the word hustle, I can't set it up with Stripe. So you pay through PayPal, and then I will add you. And pretty much, except for the two people who signed up when I was preparing for this stream, everyone is set up. And you should have gotten an email. Now, I've noticed that some people get the email, some people don't. I'm adding all of you guys to a general email list that's going to go through MailChimp. This will be where the updates will come. This will be if, like, say I need to add another course, right? I'll just email everybody the link, and then y'all can pop up in there. So there's a special email list just for Hustler Undergrad people and nothing else. There will not be any, it'll all be information and announcements and updates like that. I will probably send out another one tonight or tomorrow saying, hey, you know, if you're getting this email, you've been added, do you have access, just to make sure and just to check. So there we go. What's up, Yolanda? Edward, Christian. Christian, I know you were in Birmingham. Yeah, I saw a lot of folks. We got people from all 50 states up in here. A few folks across the water. Awesome. I love that, Christian. People are in love with talking about shit they're going to do versus getting shit done. Because getting shit done is hard. It's hard, man. LRA, I think I don't know if you were here. This is where you talk to me about that right here. I don't have the bandwidth to answer questions when I'm here saying, hey, this is what's going on. This is what, if you got a question, ask it now. All right, Rolo, appreciate you. Sir Nichols, appreciate you. Pamela C, people are now realizing that a BA or MBA is not worth its weight in gold. Pretty much. We got some haters up in here today. It's been a minute. The, the moderators have not had to do anything in weeks. This is funny. You know why? You got some people in here because I'm actually selling some versus giving away for free. Your mama and your daddy didn't raise you right. That's all I got to say on that. Bearfield. We will be training people how to set up their holding companies in Hustle Undergrad, or you can go below and get the art of holding companies. See, let's talk about this. So you go to a CPA, you go to an attorney, they're going to ask you a few questions. And they're going to create something for you. More than likely, they're going to create a shell corporation, because the thing is, anybody can go out and create an LLC. You can find information about an LLC online. But I've talked about this, and a lot of these LLCs are naked shell companies that offer no protection. None. So in the offhand case you get sued, that would be the wrong time to find out that your LLC is flimsy, because there ain't nothing you can do about it. All right, charlatan. Sir Nicholas, it's too late. I already been out of work for, you got the moving company though. So you got a business. That's a whole different. Earn money equals real results. That's it. Xavier France. Is there a specific course that teaches you how to start multiple companies with his own LLC and holding company? Yes. The art of holding companies, and what we will be talking about in Hustlers Undergrad. Michael Frank, that thirst is real. Manafort, charlatan. This is how I know that Manafort's broke. He didn't lie on one bank application. He didn't lie on two. He lied on several. If you got money, because it'd be one thing if you had money and you were using the loan technique to lower your taxes, which is what it looks like. But he did that too many times. And also, whatever money he had, these legal fees are chewing that up. He's probably spending, no lie, $1 million a month on his attorneys. This has been going on for 6 months. I don't care who you are. $6, $7, $8 million. He is probably spending his retirement money on his attorneys. And probably going to still end up in jail. Let's see flips. Pamela, see the housewives live on rental. What is rental thirst? Oh, accept. Oh, okay. All right, Richard Mayfield. I don't know what's happening with the live streams. YouTube's been a little hanky. So I had that little Kim. She was bad. That girl was. And she just became this thing. HTV3. I hope Lil Kim is therapy for real. I mean, it's sad, man. That used to be a beautiful woman. Out for president. So, Glendon, would you recommend staying at a job even if it's pretty low paying? Depends. Really depends. How low paying we talking about? Dwayne, everybody dodged that question about how many. No, I mean, I asked the question not to be harmful because I already knew the answer. Remember that study that 67% of people could not come up with $1,000 to $2,000 cash in 30 days for an emergency. They couldn't do it. We're taught and we're socialized to spend. We're not taught to build businesses. We're not taught to build legacies. We're taught to spend. And that's what happens. I mean, shit. If I had $20K in the bank when I went through my divorce and shit, I would not have been homeless. I had to learn this lesson the very hard way. Like right now, I don't ever be walking around broke. I always have money in three places. I always have credit cards with nothing on them, money in the bank, and money in my pocket. Because I know what it's like to be so ass out that you need to borrow $20 for gas. That just, it's horrible, man. It's a horrible way to live. I learned those lessons because when shit went bad, it hurt. And I just got tired of hurting. Like that time I was going to Northside Hospital to get my check in the stanza with the malfunctioning gas gauge. We had to guesstimate. I ran out of gas. I had my daughter in the back seat. Some kind gentleman stopped like shortly. I mean, we didn't even walk 30 feet. And dude said, man, with this little kid, he's all right with me. He went and got some gas and fill up the tank. That's how fucking broke I was. With a family and kids. I was that broke. It's just. But I learned. And the lessons I learned, I'm going to give to you guys. Jody's in your house. Christian, Richard, all right. Edward Koch, indecision steals many years from many people who wind up wishing they had just the courage to leap. Those not to my. I mean, that's one of the things because, like, remember when I was talking about getting in this real estate thing and everybody was trying to advise me what to do? And none of this shit's working out lovely because this is how I do things. Will this, if this doesn't work, what's it going to cost me? The real estate, it wasn't going to cost me nothing if it didn't work. Absolutely nothing. So I just leapt into it. Well, what we're going to do is also teach people how to have multiple hustles. Let's say, once again, if you have a job, we're not going to direct you to quit your job. Okay, we're not, because going back to, and it's going to take you 2 to 3 years. Let's say you learn how to sell quick. Let's say you learn how to sell in 2 weeks, and you're making sales. All right. So once you have 2, 3, 4, 5 years of experience, your selling ability will drastically increase. So instead of you having to make 100 calls to get an appointment, you'll be able to make 10. So the 100 calls you used to make an appointment, to get one appointment, now you make those same calls, you get 10x the results. It's just going to take some time. It's going to take some seasoning. It's going to take execution. And a lot of people just think that they can create an app or hack some stuff, and it's just simply not the case. Okay, so over 500 million. So including Canada and Mexico and the United States, 6% out of 500 plus million people make over 6 figures. 6%. We know there's a lot of poor people in Mexico. Canada, I don't really know much about Canada. If I have any Canadians, let me know what it is like up there. Slaves built the Ark, pros built the Titanic. Damn. What's up, Erica Williams? Ben the bartender, thank you. Pamela C. Slavery was forced immigration. It is. I mean, what is immigration? You leave your country and you go to a new country. That's what they did. It was forced immigration because, once again, people want to get caught into that, the painful, the tragic, the atrocities, all these bad things that happen to black people, and just stop there and not expand their thinking. But it was forced immigration. This is why this country is so great. The labor was stolen. It was literally stolen. All right. Ricardo Roper will be answering all that stuff in Hustler Undergrad. Because, see, and I'm not trying to be a dick. First of all, I need to know some stuff about your business. I need to know what you're trying to do, because there's a lot into it. And this is why most people have these naked LLCs that don't protect shit. They don't protect nothing, But the thing is, most of these companies know that these folks are never going to have any significant businesses. Going back to like the websites, the reason they give you like all this hosting for like $6 a month is they know that you're never going to push the bandwidth. So they're selling you hosting based on the fact that they know 99% of the folks are not going to do anything with it. When I go to SimilarWeb and I audit websites, they don't even have enough traffic to register on SimilarWeb. This is why they sell it. Erica Williams. Thanks for 25. You on it today. Texas is great as it is because 167 people to Austin and 293 people to Dallas used to be 500 people moving every day to Houston. They're bringing talent, money, and business to Texas. Some immigrants just better. I mean, we're going through a big cultural shift. And you got one group, the Hotep group, that are trying to be in the fight with no bullets. They have no bullets. They have ideology. They have concepts. I believe what they believe in is true. But you can't go to a gunfight without even a knife. You can't even throw your knife. They're going to gunfights with nothing. No bullets, no guns, nothing. Just thoughts and very good enunciation and pronunciation of words. Because have you ever noticed how a lot of these Hotep people, they are brilliant speakers. They are brilliant speakers, and they all poor. It's just... Fred Edwards, you could have a whole nation of Il Bob, the builders, in the generations they stopped playing. Well, the thing is, a lot of people don't know they're playing. Al Gore, never done an online class before. I will read the site and see the hospitality consulting field. All right. With that, there's very little that's different besides business except how you practice the business. And what I mean by that is you want to get into the hospitality consulting field. Okay. So you want to sell your services, which means you need to know how to sell. And you want people to find you, which means you need to know how to market. And then once you get the meeting, you need to know how to close. I don't care what you sell. I don't care if you're selling cookies. I don't care if you're selling dope, crack, whatever. You still need these skills. And there ain't no way you're getting around them. Marcel Hall, I'm going to vigorously disagree with you. E-commerce is a good way to start business. I'm selling them. Nope. No, it ain't. Nope. I'm going to tell you why. Amazon is a brilliant system. So you want to sell something on Amazon. So you go to Amazon and you look on Amazon what's selling, right? Then you go out and get it and you put it on Amazon and it sells. You don't have to market. You don't have to do, your research is limited to what products sell and what products isn't. You don't have to brand. No. And this is one of the reasons that I put it up there, because once people get addicted to Amazon and eBay money, they ain't really fit to do anything else. Once you get that taste, it's very hard for people to move on. So Amazon, eBay is a good hustle. It's a good way to make some money, but it's not really good business training. It's just not. If you're going to go ahead and create your own product, license your own product, sell on your website as well as Amazon, yes. But if you're just selling on Amazon and eBay, nah. All right. Slavery was the first kidnapping. It was a massive kidnapping. Oh no, not all Mexicans are broke, but most of them are. This is the dynamic around the world. 10% of the population is doing well. It's the same in London. It's the same in Russia. Maybe Russia 5% because they control that. It's the same in Canada. That 10% is doing well and everyone else is catching L's. Or if they're comfortable, then God forbid if anything bad happens, like this banker, recession happened. He fell off. He never could get back on that horse. See, what I want to do with Hustlers Undergrad is position you to get into that 9.9%. Get your money up, get your mindset together where you can get in it, and then that's the launch pad for your kids to become billionaires and millionaires. Steph Curry, his father played in the NBA. Klay Thompson, his father played in the NBA. What's this? Howie Long, his son's in the NFL. You just see all of these kids who grew up in lives of privilege. Russell Wilson, Russell Wilson's grandfather was president of Norfolk. Dude's 92 years old. He's still alive. Russell Wilson's father has a Wikipedia page. They ain't really hard. They ain't that easy to get. And you just look at the lineage, you just start to see it because that's the place you want to get to, especially if you have kids. Especially if you have kids. Can't go to a gunfight with an Annika. Was at an auction looking for merchandise. It was mostly Mexicans, few whites, and like 3 blacks, including myself. Many Mexicans are not broke and they work together. Now, let's talk about this. Culturally, all right. Now, we don't even know if those were Mexicans because here's the thing. Trump, they're sending us... You know, most of these immigrants are from Guatemala and El Salvador. They're not from Mexico. Google it. Look it up. They're not from Mexico. A lot of folks in Mexico are staying home. Why? Because we've outsourced these plants and stuff there. They don't have to come here. So the people I'm talking about are Hispanic, but a lot of them are not Mexicans, just to keep it a buck. And they have taken over the auctions in California. Been the bartender. I made this point years ago. Amazon learns from its sellers that what people buy, they use that information to lowball you out the game all day long. Richard Mayfield started a website to try and undercut eBay. Little did I know that driving traffic is tough. Driving traffic is everything, man. No, eBay doesn't. Michael Garner, Glenn, a lot of people don't like the idea of having to sell. That's where they broke. I mean, that's just the reality there. All right, so let's go into the future. Hold on a second. All right. So once we get past the first mandate, and the first mandate, you're probably going to be there 1 to 4 years in the first mandate. And this is why the money management is so important, because now this is new money you didn't have before. Now, if you do what most people do and allow this money to be absorbed into your lifestyle, then you're fucked. But if you manage this money properly, let's just say you go through Hustle Undergrad, right? And you're going to spend $3,000. Then your first year, you make $12,000 minus $3,000. So you're up $9,000, right? Actually wrong. Year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's just say you got in a low hustle and you make, let's go 12. Then something happens in year 5 and you like, fuck it, then because these skills that you learned in these years, you now take it up to like 85K because your job, you got pissed off or something. And you also have between 25K and 50K in the bank. And then because see, once you become seasoned, you can start making these big jumps. Then the next year, you do 160. Then the next year, you do 300. Because once you work out all the uglies, you're just scaling. Then the next year, you do that. And the next year, you do 1.5. And next year, you do 3. And that's why I keep saying, these years, when you start to look at it, because what's going to happen in these first 4 years, you're going to be learning and doing. And you're going to make a lot of mistakes. That's okay. Because if you stick with it, because this is what happens. This is when the big jumps happen. Now, I got lucky. When I started the YouTube channel in 2009, and 14 months later, there was the Storage Wars, there was Auction Hunters, and there was another storage show. Then that just shot my book up. I was the only source of storage auction information that had a pretty good stockpile of the information. I was it. There was no one else. So here I am with this, but back to you. You could take this time and learn all these lessons and not kill yourself, and still spend time with your family, still take your wife out to dinner. And then 2, this gives your family, if you have one, to get used to you being an entrepreneur. Because when you're talking about this, babe, I'm going to quit my job. Is she all right? She with you? Y'all sitting there holding hands, praying. Then that first year is rocky. She's still with you. The second year is rocky. The third year, she's ready for a divorce. Whereas you do it this way, you keep your marriage intact. Because once again, I'm not going to tell anyone to leave their wife or anything like that. I ain't getting into all that. But if you got one and you like her, this is a way for you to get more money and to gain more respect from the woman that you're living with. Because see, nothing breeds respect like results. I don't care what you look like. I don't care how tall you are. I don't care how short you are. At some point, everybody want to see some receipts. And if you can here are my receipts. Okay. Right now, there are women who are with men they can't stand. But there's so many receipts on the table, and they know that if they leave this man, he's going to be fucking hard to replace. He's going to be fucking hard to replace, and they stay. And then there are women out there who actually love the dude, but he broke. And they leave him and cheat with the asshole. Very interesting dynamic. See it all the time. But going back to this. So you spend $3,000 and you get lessons and skill sets you can use for the rest of your life. That is if you get in these last few spots, because then it's going to go to 250, which is going to make it 5,000. And even then it's still cheap, because how much is a semester of college? Let's go with community college. Let's look this up. I'm curious to see what this is. Let's see. At community college. Oh, damn. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Average annual tuition and fees for students attending a public 2-year colleges in their communities was just $3,200 in 2013, 2014. $3,200 for a year. So if you were to go to community college, you would spend $7,000 plus housing, plus the money you lost. So 2 years of community college on the low side is probably going to cost you $20K when you factor everything in. $25K if you live in a little large. And for like $3,000 right now, you can get way more than that. Plus a teacher that actually answers questions when we're having webinars. Because I hear that on a lot of these online courses, it can be kind of difficult to reach the teacher. But I don't know. I've never, online colleges, I've never attended one, so I don't know if that's true or not. So, all right, let's see. Microphone. Amazon was filling orders 12 months before the orders were even placed. Wow. What's up, Green Machine? That's exactly what my girl said. She said not all of them are Mexicans, and they're not. Most of them are from El Salvador, Guatemala. The Mexicans stopped coming here a long time ago in droves because due to NAFTA, GM, Ford have plants in Mexico. Mexico City's pretty nice, but Mexico City, I think, is a representation of what we're going to become because you're going to have people who are going to have armed guards and shit around their house. That's coming. Michael, I mean, it's true. Oh, we'll get into that a little later. I got some stuff. I got some toning up topics to do. Yeah, because this is one of the things. If you take the lessons and you execute, you should be able to at least make the $150 per month. Like when I did 30 days to $2,500, average person was doing about $1,500 to $2,500. Average person, right out the box. So that's why this is going up, because after the first 100 can in, I may do a special commemorative T-shirt for you guys. Then the next phase, because I figure I can sell this because it's taken. I started this last Friday, and we're at 14. Well, there's people who bought during the stream. Thank you. So we don't have 14 spots, but we're definitely going to sell out this first round today, and then we're going to start the second round immediately because you'll know when the second round starts because the price is going to change. The way it's set up, all I got to do is just go in and PayPal change the price, and boom, there we are. Because once you see what I'm going to tell you in the art of holding companies, it's going to blow your mind. It's just literally going to blow your mind because there's so many people who look at it as it's challenging. You have to pay fees. Yes, you do. Which are tax deductible, by the way. But what they do for you is so sick if you're making money. Now, if you're not making money, yeah, it's a lot of money for nothing. But if you're making money, the way that we're going to set these holding companies up for you, it's going to be ridiculous. Someone, actually, let me go to my Facebook page. Someone posted this, and this is true, and this is something a lot of folks are not even talking about. And I actually saw this post a while because a lot of folks just are not really getting into it. They really, alrighty then. Wait a minute. All right. Hold on. Let's see. I'm going to find this because this is something. Because it's real important. Man, they've popped a lot of stuff up in there since this morning. Where is this? It's a lot of good stuff. If you're not a member of the group, you should become one. Where did this go? Here we go. Here we go. And this was posted by Jose. All right. Create an LLC for your kids while they're in high school. File taxes on it for 4 years. Start building business history. Place them on the payroll and pay through company checks. Get a business credit card and make them an authorized signer. Establish business credit. Everything in this post is 100% true. I have a different way, a better way of doing it, but this is true. You can use a holding company to set your kids up, set up in a certain manner that even when you die, that you don't even have to pay estate taxes. You could do all of this. There's so many things you can do, but this is true. And a lot of people don't understand the power of filing paperwork. It's incredible. Once in the military, we used to have a term that skill craft will get you every time. That pen, man, that pen is mighty. It's very, very mighty. So we're going to be talking about that kind of stuff. We're going to be talking about that. It's easy to be an entrepreneur with a Mexican. She already used to it. Ben the Bartender, is this course going to have more different content than the Hustle Camp bundle? Yes. All of the webinars, there'll be 2 a month minimum, will have brand new and fresh content that will fit into the older content, like the art of holding companies. That's going to go in the holding company set, but it's going to be probably, like I said, 4 to 6 modules. So there's going to probably be 4 to 6 webinars on this. And then it's going to be talking about some different stuff. It's going to be talking about holding companies for real estate. When I sat there and I saw all these people dickering over LLCs for real estate, I was like, all these guys are thinking small. I was just totally blown away. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Very few of these folks are really doing real estate big. 1, 2, maybe 3 houses. Congratulations. They got the cash flowing and making money. Awesome. They ain't doing it. They're not really trying to ratchet it up because this is one of the things that, like, let's go with the website with Urban Pack Rat. When that shit ratcheted up, all kinds of bullshit started happening. My website crashed. Was using 2 checkout. They had the case of the ass. So this is how I know when people are talking and stuff, they ain't really doing anything, because once you start doing stuff, shit starts happening. You're forced to come off of all this basic entry level bullshit, because when you got real traffic, because at one point Urban Pack Rat was getting 250 to 300,000 hits per month. And to translate that today, if you had a website that was properly positioned and you were getting 200 to 300,000 unique hits per month, that's 7 figures. That is 7 figures. That's why I say uniquely positioned, because there's some websites that are getting more, but they're not positioned to make money. So signed up 4 days ago. Thank you very much. Yeah, because once again, I know that a lot of folks were signing up for the webinars, and the webinars will be new content. I'll be talking about what I'm doing in real estate. I'm going to tell you how I'm positioning and setting this up and what I'm doing, because remember when I was talking about YouTube channels? When you have a YouTube channel, you have a production company and a media company. The write-offs that you can do with that are insane. And I'm going to lay it out. Ben the Bartender is holding company a part of the deal. If you sign up for the Hustlers Undergrad, you automatically get the holding company webinar. See, because this is what I'm doing. I'm arbitraging attention. Because one, I sat down and I said, all right, how can I help people? And what price point can I help people and not kill them? 150. And the fact that this is going to sell out in 7 days, well, 8, because it started last Friday. That's pretty respectable. See, once again, I'm not into, these crazy launches. I mean, it's been kind of stressful because I've had to add people and I've been doing everything else. But when you do a launch, typically these people have to take a vacation of 3 or 4 weeks to recover, because they ain't sleeping, they ain't eating, they just on here. I didn't do any of that. None of that. I mean, I'm cool. Other than staying up late at night and adding people. So yes, if you sign up for Hustler Undergrad, make your 20 payments, then you're going to get into Disruptive Money Consulting, where you get to talk to me one-on-one, where we come up with a plan. Because see, now, these 20 months, you should have a business. You should go through there's something to work with. Because when I get on the phone with someone that has no business, those are some boring ass conversations. I just stopped doing that. Like, if you don't I don't even want to talk to you, because then it's supposition and what should we do? Like someone that I was talking to recently, it's a trucking company. He has 5 trucks and he's catching hell. And we came up with a plan for him to make more money using the 5 trucks without hiring anybody. Just a simple little plan. But see, that's exciting when you can come in and problem solve for someone that's actually doing something. Richard, if we already have LLCs, holding companies, will you want to look at the articles of organizations to assist in necessary changes? What I'm going to do, Richard, is I'm going to give you a checklist, because let's say you already have a holding company. All you got to do is pay an administrative fee, and you go in there and change your articles for yourself. So, and then, you can come to the live webinar and you can ask, and we should be able to really chop it up. But that's a good question. Because typically, I'm going to tell you, if your articles of organization are not real specific, like in mine, it is in the articles of the organization, I make all financial decisions. That is one of the articles. You can do so much. You can say this partner gets 1%, this partner gets 5%, this partner does this. You could do so much. You can be creative, and I mean, the things, one clause you can put in there. You can put in the clause that all the partners of this LLC agree that in the event of a divorce, that no partner can be forced to sell it. Because see, if you set this up before you get married, and then just go ahead and say like let's say, all right, you could go ahead and put a clause in there that due to the structure and due to the unfairness of this, that all partners have a clause. And see, this is one of the things that you can do. Let's put this clause in this, like, if in the event of a divorce, no partner can be forced to sell his position of the company. Because let's say you got 4 partners. This actually happened, I know. And he got divorced, she got the settlement, and they were forced, because they couldn't buy him out. So they had to sell part of their company to another company to get money to pay his ex-wife off. They lost, due to headaches, about $3 million. Plus they lost, yeah. They were hot, but once again, you can put this in there. And then when you are, she comes to you like, all right, say you're getting married and say, look, I own this company. I need you to sign this agreement. We got this rule that was put in play before you came. This ain't nothing reason. And essentially you got to sign it saying that in the case we get divorced, I cannot be forced to sell a company. Little stuff like that people, because you ain't going to get this at LegalZoom. And right now it seems it's like insurance. It puts the company in a position where, because once she signs that paper, Ain't nothing a divorce judge can do. And it's in the company loss. I mean, there's so many things you do. And a lot of men don't want to do stuff like this because it seems harmful and stuff like this. And then when the shit happens, they're like, oh, God, I wish I did it. All right, Stefan. Been the bartender. I can attest the shit starts happening. I'm doing local sales and can see deviations in the market that are just right for exploiting. Yeah, because once you get into it, you get information that other people are just not getting. Because they're not doing what you're doing. You can start your business with this one set of assumptions, and then once you start doing it, you're like, oh, I could do this. Rework. They were doing one thing, and they found out, like, this is more profitable, so they went over there. But until you get in business, you're not going to know this stuff. Erica Williams, she owned it today. Thanks for the $5. Know a man with 30 rental houses. His wife is the one holding him back. She doesn't want them to get any more credit lines, just pay off the current. See, she's already calculated what those 30 rental houses make, and she don't want to be risky. She don't want to lose anything. That's a very interesting dynamic. Ben, even in YouTube, there are many specific sub niches you would notice if you're in the game. There are so many categories that just no one's doing X, Y, and Z. Nobody that are ripe for it, like Ben said, to be exploited. Exist in nature. Do you have a trust? Yes, I do. Interesting question. What do you mean discuss your undergrad? You can't be in Hustler's undergrad because, see, this is one of the things. I send out everyone that signs up. I send out a personal Hustler undergrad email. Are you signed up? Because I can't tell by your name. See, everyone that I signed up, I sent them an email to contact me. Everybody. So I'm not trying to be a dick, but like, what are you talking about? What you want to talk about? Are you signed up? You know what? Tell me, what's your email address? Let's just get this solved right now. Because I don't know who you are with your scream names and stuff. Let's see. Let me go to support students. What's your email address? All right. So let me go back. Yeah, you got to set this stuff up before. This is one of the things I keep preaching. You know, one of the things that helped me as a backup plan in 2012 here on YouTube, I said, like, I'm setting up a trust for my kids. That's on YouTube. It's documented, right? It's very, very important with my particular situation because there's some stuff in that trust. There's a provision for a kid to be entered into the trust. They must live with me for 10 years. Ha ha. I just put that in there because of bullshit I went through with my first wife. The trust is like, wow, 6 years old. Can't be invalidated either. So, yeah, that's going to be very interesting if she ever gets me in court and we go through that process. Thank you, Erica. Don't know yet. Lance Brown, so she has to sign off on the... Yes. See, all right. Family court law. Typically, most judges are older and they favor women. And if you're open with it, because, see, essentially, if you set your company up like this, you don't even have to come off a dick. It's like, babe, all right, I got business partners, right? So this is what you got to do. We all had to sign one. Before we get married, you need to go out, and I'll even pay for you to have an attorney to look this over. But in case we get divorced, you just can't force me to sell the company to pay you. Now, if she gets like irritable about that, because see, prenups can be invalidated. But business contracts like that are very hard to validate because if all the partners sign one, that's what's called usual and customary. So it ain't just like singling her out. It's virtually fucking impossible to overturn. Plus, it keeps the continuity of the company because now all of a sudden we don't have to sell or raise all this money and go through all these changes just to pay off somebody. Y'all ain't never heard that on another YouTube channel, have you? It's experiences. He's definitely a risk taker to have 30 houses. Under Wayne Bryant, I think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be just as bad, if not worse, as the last one. And many people call the last one the Depression. So, I mean, the thing is, we have low unemployment, but real wages are not rising. That just makes no sense because low unemployment dictates that people can say, like, fuck you, I'm going over here to work. When I was at Northside Hospital, respiratory therapists were in so demand. We had one guy, he got fired because he went off on his supervisor. Before he got home, he made a phone call. He had another job before he got home. That's what happens when there's tight unemployment. And he got a signing bonus. He just got fired. Okay. All right. I'll come in and sign the paperwork tomorrow. He ain't miss a fucking day of work. That's a tight labor market. We don't have respiratory therapists getting people getting signed. It rings false. It just really does. Thank you, Lieutenant Johnson. Well, do you think NY women is coming when the recession happens? As your lawyers like, you know, I don't really know because I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about it. Because essentially, the way that I set myself up, it was an act of love that put me in this position because I'm indigent. I don't have any money. Company has money. I don't have any money. And the layers and the steps, and we'll be talking about this in the art of holding companies because I've watched a lot of stuff on YouTube, and this is good if you're going to have a very low risk company. No one's ever coming after you. But essentially, based on what I've seen, a lot of people will have their LLCs invalidated as a disregarded entity with no separation between them and the business, and that leaves their personal assets wide the fuck open. So as long as they don't get sued, yeah, it's good. They get all the benefits, taxes, all that stuff. But they get sued, and it's a disregarded entity, a single member entity, they have no fucking protection whatsoever. And a lot of folks don't even know that. Cardium, yes. All the courses are mobile accessible. Mobile, iPad, you just sign in. You can sign in on your phone. And the GDP goes down. We will see. We will see what these next job numbers look like. Yeah, because this is why I'm here. Once again, all the courses are yours forever that you pay for. You can access by phone. I will say you better have some good, Wi-Fi, and you can do as much as you want. Jamar, due to racism, black men cannot be pure. Jamar, that's on the other channel. Why you gotta say? We're talking about how to make money here, man. Oh man. And I will say on the surface, I fundamentally disagree. And I'm gonna say why, because I don't answer to nobody. I say what I want, I live what I want, I do what the fuck I want. If they ain't alpha, I don't know what it is. I would fundamentally disagree with you on that one. Pretty much, Michael. Pretty much. But, Yeah, you can download the courses, and once again, I'm going to be doing more chats like this because once the 100 spots are gone, then the price goes up to 250, and then we'll have another 100 spots. Jabra, single member LLCs set up correctly don't have the same protection as multiple member LLCs. Well, what's correct? That's the question. Because filing a form of an articles of organization, is that setting it up correctly? We have to ask what is correct. But let's put it this way. A single member LLC is probably one of the riskiest LLCs you can ever set up. Lance, we're not talking about investing and stuff like that. Personally, I don't even believe in 401ks. Thank you, Caddy Williams. Appreciate you. Ebony Empire, I'm going to break that LLC down in the art of holding companies. That's what I'm going to break it down. You got two ways. You can get the Hustler Undergrad package, 20 payments, 150, or you can go ahead and drop 1,000 and you'll get this game. Because I'm going to tell you, you're going to hear stuff in that you will never hear on YouTube because first of all, some of the people who have the correct holding company LLC structure, they pay an attorney $5 to $10,000 to do that. And that attorney sat them down and that attorney asked them a shitload of questions. If you got an LLC or a holding company and no one asked you a shitload of questions, not like, oh, you're in there for 30 minutes, an hour. No. You showed up at least 3 to 4 times, 5 times. They went over revisions, they asked you some more questions. This is why they cost so much, because these things are uniquely tailored to that person and their situation. Boilerplate LLCs, they're very simple, and if you get sued, they may not protect you. A lot of people don't know this. You got folks out here running multi-million-dollar businesses with a very insufficient LLC. And typically the first time they get sued, that's when they find out how bad it is. Yeah, I'm not well versed on 401ks. Personally, I have whole different type of investment vehicles. Richard, in Texas, I was told by my attorney that no, it's not a partnership. Patrick Mothersill, with talk about housing bubbles, is it a good time to enter the real estate investments if prices will fall? For members of armed forces, yes, you can use your VA loan up to $455,000. Once again, it depends on who you are, what you want to do, how secure your income is. There's a lot of questions that go in there because I will never say, well, now the time or wait. I will say if you're going to get in the real estate game, start doing your groundwork, actually start looking at properties now. Because I'm in it, this is why I know that virtually many of the properties that I looked at, everybody's cutting prices right now. Everybody. The stuff that's moving very quickly is renovated, is updated, and is move-in ready. That's selling. Anything that's not like that, it is sitting. It's very much a buyer's market. So with that, okay. What is today? Today is Friday. So what's going to happen once the 100 spots are gone? I'm going to just change the link to $250, $299. I haven't really made up my mind. And then I'm going to make an announcement of some other stuff that I'm going to do. Yes, there's going to be more. There's a lot more. And this is just called a soft lunch, what I'm doing. I'm not hitting Twitter, Instagram. I'm not even running any paid traffic on this. None. Not a lick. So that's something else that's very different about this lunch. I've never read that book, so I can't really give you any feedback on it. All right. Let me see. We have 1 spot, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. 8 from 14. There's 6 spots left. So with that, subscribe, like, comment. And once again, if you are a member of the Hustler Undergrad, I will talk to you because you're a paying member. There is a special email that I'm not putting out in public. It's just strictly for members, and I check it once a day. So if you're a member, you have access to me. If you're not a member, I'm not talking to you because, you know, I did this other launch of the Disruptive Money Consult. Fortunately, I actually rescheduled some appointments, and that's why I'm free today to do this. I got that going on too. I mean, there are many people who just feel that, hey, you know, I'm sitting around with nothing to do. I run 6 YouTube channels, 2 training platforms. I'm getting into real estate. Come on. But to solve that, because I know a lot of people don't really believe that I'm busy, I'm going to do a video what I do in a day. Life in the YouTuber. And this shit's going to blow your mind because I'm going to do it on the day that I'll probably end up doing 4 or 5 videos. I'll probably have some conference calls and all this other stuff. So with that, I'll see you guys later. Once the price changes, just know that the $150 offer is over, and then the 200 plus whatever I make it out be will be on, and then probably Sunday I'll make an announcement because my goal will be everyone that signed up today. I'm going to go have lunch. Then I'm going to go get everybody signed up. So you will have access today. I will send you, and what I'll do is because everybody is you got your own email address to contact me, and you have your own MailChimp email address because some people have not been getting updates because essentially when I set you up, I email you through the platform, and some of those haven't been going through. So tonight, once I get everyone signed up, I'm going to send out an email. It's like, look, you're signed up. If you haven't gotten access, you didn't get the emails, this is what you need to do to get in. So that will be popping off. All right. See you folks later. I may do a disruptive mail. I might do that tonight. Just depends. All right. See you guys later. Thanks for sharing your Friday with me.